Hello and welcome to Ageless Rock, a channel for megalithic fans with a different perspective because we wear megalithic lenses. Banteay Chhmar is a very big archaeological site. I did a video on the temple layout and the beret that comes with it. This is my third video on this temple, focusing on the satellite temples and the overall structure. Our planet has been floating in the universe for a long time, and there is a very good chance we are not alone. For those who believe in alien, the naming of this temple might be a clue to what happened here. The naming of Banteay Chhmar might not be a coincidence. The word Banteay means fortress, but Chhmar is the key word here. Chhmar means cat in Khmer language. A direct translation of these two words is cat fortress. The first impression is a fortress of cats. You can find it written as Citadel of Cats. What does it mean? Were there plenty of cats in a citadel? What has cats got to do with this citadel? What happened to the word temple? This is supposed to be a temple, so why not Temple of Cats? A quick connection I can think of is the connection to an alien race known as the Lyran race, which is of feline origin. It could be a knowledge handed down through local legends and folklores and ended up Cambodians naming it as such. It also further enhances those who believe in aliens that locals speak about megalithic sites being built by white people. So those who believe in alien can dig further into this subject at your end. Banteay Chhmar megalithic site consists of two parts like yin and yang combination. This intelligent architecture has a hidden knowledge lost in history, and we will never know why, because Western academicians has intentionally or unintentionally been chipping away knowledge they considered unscientific. Folklores and fairy tales are never written down like Jack and the Beanstalk. The sanctuary of Banteay Chhmar is an amazing construction if you see it from an architect's drawing. The 3D reconstruction is even more impressive. Few 100,000 if not a million polygonal block of sandstones stacked into a mega temple is something I have to pause and think. How is all this humanly possible about 1,000 years ago? While I pause and think, I combine the old and new diagram into a simple diagram on Google Earth satellite view. There are 6 water tanks not seen on old map but stand out clearly on new maps. Normally, if there is one, it will be the king's pool. If there are many, the rest will be for his wife and concubines. But there are 6 water tanks here and we have no clue. But honestly, this looks like a very advanced diagram comparable to a computer chip board with functions we will never know. This is not a religious site because the sanctum is not a giant Buddha or an enormous linga like what devotees would like to see. The temple sanctuary was found in complete ruin. It is an area so vast, it is impossible for one king to build so many temples in Khmer's empire. So it is believed that King Jayavarman VII's father, Dara Indravarman II, laid the foundation first. Despite what you read from the internet, we actually have no clue why this very isolated location was chosen for such a grand project. We only assume it could be a military outpost due to the extremely large number of bas reliefs that seem to have a lot of militaristic stories. There is a temple here believed to have been built for Sri Indra Kumara Rajaputra, son of King Jayavarman VII. That's because there was an image of him in one of the shrines. He died in a battle and his death must have been a blow to King Jayavarman VII. The overall feel of this site is that A lot of fighting happened, and this temple feels more like a fortress. Banteay Chhmar Temple is famous for bas-reliefs on the wall. It is almost 1 kilometer long. There were 8 Avalokiteshvara depictions, but 6 were stolen, where the entire walls were looted. The latest looting in 1998 were by villagers who jackhammered and carted away in trucks 30 meters of wall through a network of Cambodian soldiers and international terrorist organization. This is a grim reminder that human nature to possess is the greatest destructive force. At the cruciform structure of the sanctuary, you can see a Buddha on Mushalinda with a devotee in prostration position doing his prayer. You can also see devotees worshipping Linga, which means this was also a Hindu temple. Depiction of devatas can be found everywhere. Banteay Chhmar Temple complex is made up of many smaller satellite temples. Immediately outside the central moat, there are 4 temples. Prasat Tanem and Taem on the east-west position, while Prasat Yekom and Taplang on the north-south position. On average, the central shrine is about 200 meters from the moat. Then you have 2 satellite temples that throw off the symmetry of the entire architecture. Prasat Taprom is located about 120 meters south of Taplang. Prasat Yecho is an oddball. It is about 320 meters from the corner of southeast moat. Outside the moat, there are 2 satellite temples as if they are not done building on the inside, and they had left over stones for 2 more temples. The locations of these temples are incorporated into the intelligent design based on the accuracy of the north-south and east-west axis. There are 2 satellite temples outside the outer moat. When I put all the temples into a big picture, it will not make any sense that ancient Cambodians would want to do this for agriculture and worship of Shiva or Buddha. This project that spans approximately 4.15 kilometers from end to end will require a workforce so big, archaeologists should not be looking for ancient residential area of a city to justify its existence. Let's start with Prasat Yekom on the north with a south entrance Gopura. It looks like a square-shaped moat about 65 meters on all sides. It has double enclosures with cruciform structure. This temple is in complete ruin. Prasat Taplang on the south is an interesting temple. Although some say it looks like there is no moat, but I can see there is one in the blue rectangle. It has 2 laterite wall enclosures. Since every satellite temple has a moat, Taplang should be no different. It looks like a 70 meters long by 60 meters wide moat. To the west is an east-facing temple called Prasat Tanem. My megalithic lens tells me it looks like a square moat measuring 150 meters on all sides. There are east-west direction gopuras with traces of a causeway on the east side. The main shrine is the structure to look for. It has the iconic 4 faces tower. To the east is Prasat Taem. The central shrine is exactly in between the landing stage of the parade and the sanctum of Banteay Chhmar. This site is in need of repair. Nothing much is still standing inside the moat that seems to measure 60 meters on all sides. The aerial view of Prasat Taprom is rather blurry, but I can see that the moat is about 100 meters long by 75 meters wide. There are double enclosures separated by the moat. The dotted lines are just a guess because I cannot see from the satellite view. The interesting feature here is that the 4 faces tower is in pretty good shape while the entire temple is in ruin. It is only about 115 meters south of Prasat Taplang. Prasat Samnot Tasok Mode has a very vague outline between two laterite enclosures, but the outline of the moat on the north is visibly about 100 meters long, and it has a squarish outline. The famous Four Faces Tower is very much intact, while everything else is in dire need of restoration. There are 4 entrances, 2 on the east and 2 on the west. Prasat Chen Chem Tre, also known as Prasat Tapai or Tamies, has a vague outline of the second enclosure. The dotted line is just my guess based on the vegetation view. The moat is about 90 meters long by 70 meters wide. The structure of the temple is a cruciform with the iconic Four Faces Tower, where only 2 remain smiling, waiting for you to smile back. Prasat Yecho is an anomaly in location. It is in the southeast of the main moat, and the temple itself has 2 moats. There are 2 enclosures where the outer enclosure is about 140 meters long by 120 meters wide. I am not sure where is the outline for inner lateral wall enclosure, but I am guessing you can find it inside the inner moat. The double moats and double enclosures is rather disappointing on the inside. You can probably skip this if you are not an archaeologist. I thought these are all the temples with moats in Banteay Chhmar, but when I snoop around this area, there are actually many more moat temples I can find. This one even comes with a small beret and 2 water tanks on the side. The moat is about 130 meters long by 110 meters wide. Not too far away is another moat structure which I will call it Unknown 2 for now. I can tell you this is not a new water tank dug by villagers a few years ago. These 2 moat structures and a beret is in a straight line stretching approximately 1.38 kilometers from end to end. This is another intelligent design, probably yet to be rediscovered by the French archaeologists, because there are simply too many to handle by a handful of academicians. There is another structure I call Unknown 3, where I don't even know if this is a moat or a water tank. To give you an idea of the size, the north side is 67.5 meters long. The last unknown structure I would like to share is this Unknown 4. It looks like a square moat temple measuring 140 meters on all sides. Not much I can say about this structure. I have to go there to give you more details. As a summary of my 3 videos, Banteay Chhmar is not a structure as simple as beret for agriculture and temples for worship. There is a grand design beyond modern scientists can understand, let alone primitive minds where thatched roof houses are considered modern. This is an astronomical achievement by the unknown ancient builders, and it has to do with astronomy. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this longer than expected short presentation on temples and beret at Banteay Chhmar. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Bernie Ong signing out. Lei Hai.